Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday morning. We're recording this today so that you can have a nice, restful restore class on your Sunday morning and also your Sunday evening. That's a great time. Just right before bed, so you're all cozy. Today is going to be a pretty mellow class. We'll leave the floor a couple times. This is really going to be on focusing on our hips today. So with that, we'll get started. I'm going to get my music playing here in a minute. You can get started on your belly. If that's not comfortable for you, you can lie on your back and then meet us on your belly when you're ready. So go ahead and start to orient yourself to your space, to your room. Try to set down anything that has already happened today or anything that will happen and just be right here, right now. Start to become aware of your breathing. No need to change or alter the way that you're breathing. Just notice. Notice if you pause at the top or the bottom of your breath. Maybe you notice if the inhales are just a little bit longer than the exhales or vice versa. Together, let's take a deep inhale through the nose, filling up those lungs completely. And then exhale as if you're trying to exhale all that old air from your lungs. Inhale again through the nose. Don't be afraid to make some noise on your exhale. One more cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Keep the depth of your breath, but press your lips together and start to breathe in and out through your nose. You might even feel a slight constriction at the back of your throat, making your breath sound oceanic or a bit textured. And then if you're lying on your belly and you've got a cheek down on the mat, go ahead and flip to the other side. We'll set an intention for today's practice if you'd like to join. Today, I am trying to notice what gets loud as I get quiet. There's a lot of stimulation, whether it be inside of your home, inside of your brain. There's a lot of things going on, especially during this uncertain time. So just slow down and notice what thoughts arise. You don't need to judge those thoughts. They are not good, they are not bad, they just are. And try not to interact with those thoughts too much. The best way that I can describe this is almost imagine your thoughts are like on a conveyor belt at the grocery store. Try not to pick up those items, try not to touch them, try not to rearrange them, just notice them pass you. What gets loud as you get quiet? And then if you're on your back, go ahead and come to your stomach. And then bring your right cheek down to the ground and goalpost your arms so that your elbows are right up from your shoulders. With your left cheek on the ground, keep your entire left leg on the ground, but start to slide that knee closer to your elbow. This is a half frog pose. Keep your legs just as they are, but find your forearms. So prop yourself up so that your elbows are right underneath of your shoulder. Palms are flat on the ground. And then try to feel a little bit of lengthening through the back. Keeping that oceanic breath with you. From here, we'll go ahead and take our right hand, pick up our left elbow. It's okay if you get lost during this. You can watch again. Slide that hand underneath and lie all the way onto our backs. It's okay if this knee is off the floor, no big deal. It's going to be much more comfortable if you're on your back. So I'll go ahead and do that again. Slowly start to unwind yourself. Send both of your legs long on the mat behind you. And we'll take that half frog pose to the other side. So goal post your arms. This time our left cheek comes down to the ground. Keep your legs as they are, but find those forearms again, finding that sphinx nice and long through the back and through the back of the neck. And go ahead and take your left hand this time, snake it underneath the right elbow and lie all the way onto your back, finding that twist again. Pull back onto your stomach and then press yourself up to all fours. We'll take a traditional child's pose here, so your knees will be together. You can sink your hips towards those heels. Hands can stay reaching out in front of you, or they might even go backwards. Forehead can rest right on the mat, or you can stack your palms, or even put a block right here. Rest your forehead right on that block. Please know that this is your class. It is not mine. So take what you need from this class and leave the rest. And as always, if something hurts, don't do it. Back out, find a modification. Return to that intention. What gets loud as you get quiet? One more deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out of the mouth. Press your lips together. Return to that nose-to-nose breathing. And then come to a seat on your mat. As always, you can put a blanket right underneath of your seat, or even a block or a towel. Comfortable sitting on the ground, that's a-okay too. From here, bring your right ear close to your right shoulder. Try to keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. And maybe you take that left hand and snake it off to the side, resting those fingertips down on the ground. Back up through center, let's take it to the other side. Come back up through center and find yourself in our tabletop pose or hands and knees pose. Again, knees are right under the hips and shoulders are right over the wrists. Walk walk your hands about a foot in front of you and then press your chest towards the ground as you press your hips into the air. This is a puppy dog pose or mounting card pose. Chin or forehead can come to the mat here as you breathe. Walk yourself back up to your tabletop, find your neutral spine. Let's move through a few cat and cows. On your in-breath, drop the belly low, gaze forward, tail lift. And exhale, press the air from your lungs, press the floor away, round through the spine. Inhale brings us to our cow, belly relaxes. Exhale brings us to that rounded spine. Inhale, find your cow. And exhale, find your cat. Feel free to add in any movements that feel good within your body. Just because it's different does not mean it's wrong. So maybe you peek over your shoulders in your cow. Maybe you come to your fingertips in your cat. You might even sway your hips from side to side. As you're ready, come back to that neutral tabletop pose. Take a vinyasa, child's pose, so big toes touch, knees are wide on the mat, sink your hips back towards the heels. Fingertips this time will reach forward in front of us. Then in your child's pose, go ahead and start to walk your fingertips a little bit towards the right-hand side of your body. You might even pick them up off of the mat and put them back down, maybe stacking one hand over the other. Really trying to encourage those hips to stay pressing down towards the ground. Breathe big. On your next inhale, bring those hands back through center, and then let them travel to the other side. Maybe stacking your palms right on top of the other. Bring your hands back through center. Come to a tabletop and then into our first downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hips high, heels are low. Find some movement here in your first downward facing dog. Maybe you pedal out your feet, getting those creaks and cracks out from your body. Make sure that your breath is still moving with you. In and out. And then eventually find some stillness. With your next in-breath, lift your right leg high behind you for a three-legged dog. And then exhale, step it into a lizard lunge. So we're going to step our foot to the outside of our feet. So the right foot is on the outside of our feet. We have a couple options here. You can drop that back knee down to the ground and untuck your toes. You can stay right here. If you feel comfortable, you can drop down to your forearm. And if you have healthy knees, you might even shine the sole of your foot towards your forearm, opening up that leg a little bit. All just options. Start to find those nice tall arms again. Pressing yourself back up. Return to your downward facing dog. We'll find that lizard pose on the other side. So I'm just going to transition from right here so you can still see. This foot is on the outside of our hands. Back leg can stay lifted or release down to the ground. You find your variation and breathe. Start to slowly come out of this shape. This time we'll return to a high plank pose for just a breath or two right here, engaging the core, really pressing down into the hands. One more breath in. Exhale, lower yourself down to the ground. From here, keep those hands kind of by the shoulders, just back a little bit. Press the tops of your feet into the mat so that your kneecaps lift. Inhale, baby cobra. Little to no weight in those hands, and really think about the back of your neck, making sure that it's looking forward and down. So we're not craning our neck. Take one more breath in. Exhale, release yourself down to the ground. We'll take that twice more. Inhale, our baby cobra. Another breath in. Exhale, release yourself down to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra. Maybe those hands hover away from the mat. Another inhale. Exhale, release yourself down to the ground. Press yourself back up to your tabletop. And into our downward facing dog. Breathe. And return to that intention. What gets loud as you get quiet? With your next in-breath, take your right leg up high behind you, three-legged dog, and step it forward, coming into our lizard lunge again. You're just here. We're not going to get as settled this time. So the right toes are on the ground, outside of our hands. We'll step our back foot up, and then come to a standing L pose. So as you'll see, my leg isn't way up here. My hips are square to the ground. My left foot is flexed back there. A great place for blocks are right under your hands here. If you'd like to challenge your balance, maybe you grab onto that standing ankle or calf. Trying to elongate through the spine. And breathing in and out. Bring your hands back down to the earth, and this is going to be a little bit of a weird transition, so listen carefully. Left foot, our flying foot, will come to the ground, but so that our pinky toes touch. I'm going to do it from a couple different views, friends. Left leg is flying. Then it comes behind our right leg so that our pinky toes are near one another. Let your spine round down in our funky forward fold. Let your neck hang heavy as you breathe. And then slowly start to uncross your feet. Take your legs out pretty wide here. We're going to find a malasana, so toes are slightly out, heels are slightly in, and we'll sink our seat nice and low. You can stay up high. You can go all the way low, or I like a block under my glutes here. Just breathe. And when you want to get out of this pose, see if you can stay for a breath longer. If you're in pain, get out of it. Go hang in a forward fold. We're in our Malasana or our yogi squat for 2 more full breaths in and out. And again. And out. Place your hands on the ground, find a forward fold. Walking those feet out nice and wide. Toes now face forward and our heels are straight back. You can release your hands down to the ground, as well as you can release your neck down to the ground. Start to find a halfway lift here. So place your hands on the earth, straighten through the back using those core muscles. Keep your right hand down on the ground and let your left arm reach up towards the ceiling. With your breath out, our hand comes back down to the ground, and then our right hand reaches up for the ceiling. One more in-breath. And exhale, bring those hands back down to the ground. Find your way back into your downward facing dog. This time with the in-breath, left leg lifts. Exhale, bring it forward into our lizard lunge. And if your foot doesn't make it, help it get there. Back knee is still lifted. Step that back foot up just a touch. And then spring forward into our standing L pose. Again, I really like blocks under my hands here. Elongate through the spine. Listen carefully, we're gonna make it into our funky forward fold. Right leg goes behind our left so that our pinky toes are on the same side of our foot. Nice work, crew. Start to uncross those legs. Stand up nice and tall. And we're going to find that wide-legged stance again. Feet are parallel to the edges of our mat. Go ahead and fold forward. You can take ragdoll arms this time through if you'd like, or see how it feels to reach your fingertips back behind you. Begin to walk your hands and place them right underneath of the shoulders. Find your inhale to half lift. This time we'll take our right toes and turn them slightly out towards the side and find a skandasana pose. So I call this a surfer's lunge. We've got a really big bend in the right knee and our left leg is straight. Toes are flexed up towards the ceiling. Hands can stay on the ground or on blocks, but try to stay nice and tall through the spine. If you're looking to challenge your balance, you can bring your hands to heart center. You can also open those arms up nice and wide as you breathe in and out. One more breath in. Exhale, place those hands down on the ground. Make it to the other side. So this time our left toes face slightly outwards. There's a big bend in our left knee. And our right leg is straight. If this hurts, know that you can stay up high. Take one more breath in. Exhale, place those hands down on the ground. Come to your wide-legged forward fold. And then eventually meet us in a downward facing dog. With your next in-breath, lift your right leg high behind you. Exhale, bring it forward into a lunge. And then spin your left foot flat. Cartwheel the arms up and open. Rise to a warrior two. We're trying not to grip the floor too much with this foot. There's a slight sucking in and engagement of the abs. Arms are straight. Breath is strong. In and out. In again. Out again. From here, inhale to reverse your warrior, getting nice and long through the right side of your body. And exhale into a supported, extended side angle. So right elbow to the right thigh, left arm reaches up so that your bicep is close to your ear. Try not to collapse forward. Rather draw that left shoulder back just slightly. From here, start to stand up. We'll find a goddess squat. So bring your heels in, your toes out just a little bit. And then take your hands and rest them right on the tops of your thighs, getting those glutes down nice and low. From here, take your left shoulder and dip it down, maybe even gaze towards your left. No worries if you wobble. You can find a slight sway if that feels good. With an in-breath, come back up to your center. And then exhale, take it to the other side. Come back up through center. Stand up nice and tall. Find a star pose, reaching those arms up, straightening through the spine. From here, we'll find a warrior two with our left leg towards the front of us. So if you need to readjust, I'll say okay. Left toes are facing forward. Right toes are parallel with the back of your mat. Nice and tall through the spine. Engagement in these inner thighs. Almost imagine you're standing on a slippery surface and you want to hug those thighs in. Making sure to breathe. Take one more breath in and out. Legs stay the same. Inhale, reverse your warrior nice and long to the left side. And then exhale into our supported extended side angle. Elbow comes to the thigh. And then that bicep comes close to the ear. Start to come back up to your warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Come into a lunge. Step back. And then lower down to your knees, taking a child's pose for just a moment or so. Focusing on that breath. And coming back to your intention. What gets loud as you get quiet? Is it self-doubt? Frustration? Anxiety? Depression? Let those things pass you by on your conveyor belt. Understand that we are not our every thought. We are not the stories that we sometimes tell ourselves. First step is being aware of those thoughts and then differentiating which ones are true and which ones are not. When you're ready to come out of that child's pose, meet us in a tabletop pose, our hands and knees. Neutral through the spine. With your in-breath, lift your right arm up towards the ceiling, opening your chest up. And exhale, thread the needle. So send that right hand behind the left elbow. Your cheek can come down to the ground. Your forehead can come down to the ground. There's a couple options for our left hand. It can reach straight out in front of us, or it can wrap around the small of our back. We'll come out of this pose the same way that we came in. So return the left hand down to the ground. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, open through the chest. Exhale, set the right hand down on the mat. Inhale, left arm reaches up. And exhale to thread your needle, snaking that hand behind the elbow. Turn the right hand down to the earth. Inhale, left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. And exhale, place the hands back down on the mat. From here, we'll move into a gatekeeper pose. If this hurts your knees, no worries. You can kind of put a towel underneath there, even a slider. We'll take our right foot and set it off to the side. Our toes will again point kind of towards the corner of our mat. And our foot is flat on our mat. Walk your hands in nice and close and stand up. And my left leg is kickstanded right behind me, so I have a nice, strong, stable base. Engage the muscles in your core and take your right hand, place it gently on your calf or your thigh. Left hand reaches up and over. So we've got a nice C shape. Breath stays with us. In and out. Try not to lock out our right knee. From here, we'll cartwheel our hands down, so our left hand will go down right in line with our knee. And then our top hand will reach forward. So again, we have a nice C shape with our body. This top hand can even reach down towards the ground. As you pull your shoulder back in space, just a touch. No need to fight with your body. You just make a small adjustment. And bring both of your hands down to the ground. Come back to our tabletop pose, our hands and knees. Let's take a round of cat and cow to reset the spine. Inhale, relax the belly, gaze forward. Exhale, round through the spine. With your in-breath, find that neutral tabletop pose. Let's take this to the other side. So this time our left leg goes long, toes point slightly towards the front of your mat at a diagonal. Lock the hands and use the core to stand up. If you feel wobbly or uncomfortable, make your adjustments now. Then as you're ready, take your left hand, place it lightly, friends, that is the key word. And then go ahead and take that top hand over and arc it. Guiding that right shoulder back. And we'll do that same cartwheel motion. Our right hand comes down to the ground. And then our left hand comes up towards the ceiling. Bring that bicep close to your fingertips and reach for the ground. Bring your hands back down in front of you. Come to our tabletop, move through a round of cat and cow. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze forward. Exhale, round through the spine. Belly button tucks into the spine almost. With your inhale, come back to a neutral spine. You can sit back onto your feet in a hero's pose if you'd like. I'm going to demo our next pose. We're really going to dig into our hips. If you do not have healthy knees, this might not be the pose for you. I'll show you the modification in just a moment. I'm actually going to move off of my mat because it's easier to slide on this floor. If you're in your kitchen, that's great. If you're on carpet, you can do this too. It just might take a little bit of finagling. So what we'll do is start in that tabletop pose, and then I'm going to separate my knees out from one another. And my feet, my big toes are going to come down to the ground. I'm going to press back a little bit. This is called frog pose. Some of you might be saying bad words at me at home. That is okay. This pose is not meant to be easy. It is meant to challenge our bodies a little bit. As always, if you feel pain, please leave this pose. Instead, you can lie on your back. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Place your hands right on your kneecaps. And then open your legs up like this. You might feel a little bit awkward, but it's okay. You're at home. Try to stay in this frog pose. And especially here, notice what gets loud as you quiet down and find a little bit of stillness. Nice work, crew. We've got about 30 more seconds. You can use your breath to help you. So move it in and send it away. Nice work, everybody. First step is to slowly press ourselves up to those nice tall arms. Use your core to walk those knees in. And from here, we'll take that traditional child's pose with our knees close together. Might feel really good this time to bring those hands back behind. We'll stay just like this for a minute, kind of countering the pose that we just took. Slowly start to come out of this shape. I'm going to demo this pose again too. We're headed into rabbit or hare pose. So if you know that pose, you can go ahead and get there. We'll meet you in a second. We're going to bring our hands back so that they find our feet. If they don't touch, that's okay. It's just a direction, not the goal. We're going to place the crown of our head down on the ground, right by our knees, and we are going to resist the urge to move it, my friends. Hear that again. Resist the urge to move your head. Then we're going to slowly start to bring our glutes away from our feet, not putting a ton of pressure on our head. So here we go into our rabbit or hare pose. Slowly start to bring your glutes back down to the ground. Take a moment in our hero's pose to recenter your breath. Moving it in, and sending it out. Here you can go ahead and take a seat. We'll cross our legs out in front of us. We're going to give our hips a little bit more love here. So I'm going to start by placing my left foot down on the ground. The more parallel my leg is, the more intense you'll feel in this stretch. And I'll take my right foot and put it right over top. So I'm trying to get my ankle over my knee and my knee over my ankle. All of our bodies are beautifully different. So if this does not work in your body, no worries. You can sit cross-legged. You can even take this top leg and put it in front. Now, some of us already feel our hips talking to us, maybe our outer hips, that's a-okay. You get to decide how far you'd like to take this pose, so you can stay right here. You can start to lean forward, maybe even rest your head on a block, maybe on its tallest setting. Or you can place your forearms down near the ground and let your head hang heavy. Start to come out of that shape. If you took that fold forward, we're going to uncross and recross. So this time our right leg will be on the bottom. I'm hearing you, so sorry if I mix up my lefts and rights from here and there. Again, we're trying to get that ankle over the knee and the knee over the ankle. Sit up nice and tall through the spine first. Then you decide if you need that forward fold or want it. Go ahead and go for it. Try to get quiet. Try to get still. And when you're ready to come out of that double pigeon or fire log pose, up nice and tall. From here, we'll send both of our legs straight. We've had our legs crossed for a while. Let's get them straight. And then let's actually get them kind of wide on our mat. We did this pose earlier standing up, but here we are sitting down, so it'll feel totally different. We're going to do like the classic PE stretch. So inhale, sit up nice and tall. Reach the fingertips up. Square your chest over your right straight leg, and then take a forward bend. Go ahead and sit back up tall. Arms reach up. And then we'll go right over to the left side. Start to sit up nice and tall. Again, we'll take one more stretch. This time we'll reach those fingertips up with the inhale, and on our exhale, fold forward, trying to go as far as we can with a flat back, then round once you get down to the bottom. We'll kind of give you a different angle of that. Just make sure we don't collapse our spine forward. Keeping those toes flexed to protect the knees. As you're ready, sit up nice and tall. You can go ahead and walk those feet in, bend into your knees, and lie onto your back. And just take a minute there on your back. Maybe you keep those knees tented up towards the ceiling. Maybe you find those butterfly legs with the soles of your feet touching. Reconnect with your breath. From here, we're going to cross our legs. So I'm going to show you from this angle, and I'll mirror you and pretend I'm laying down. So you will go ahead and cross your left leg right over your right. We don't want any space in between those thighs. And then what we're going to do is try and grab for our calves or for our ankles and kind of pull them towards our chest on the ground. So I'll show you what that looks like here. And we can almost imagine that we're trying to pull our ankles to the left and right sides of our body, as well as a little bit closer to our chest. Circle out the ankles if that suits you. And from here, we'll uncross and recross. So this time our right thigh is on top of our left. And then if this is stretch enough, please stay. If you'd like to take it that step further, grab for the calf, maybe your knees or your ankles. Go ahead and uncross those knees. And then hug your shins in towards your chest. Rock a little bit from left to right, massaging out that low back. From here, send your legs straight up to the ceiling. This will be our inversion today. You can take your hands to the back of your thighs. You can use a strap or a towel to give your legs a little bit of tension. You can place your hands under your glutes to take a little bit of effort out of this pose. And as we're winding down especially, see if now that you've noticed some of those thoughts, you can set them down and walk away for just a moment or two. They'll be there once we come back into the real world. Got a block for your hands under your hips. Slowly start to release them. Put a bend into your knees and place the soles of the feet flat on the earth. From here, take your right leg and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. If this is stretch enough on the hips, please stay. If you'd like more, interlace the hands behind the back of the left leg. Anatomically, it's safe for this left leg to be straight or bent, so you can choose which one works best in your body. Keep your legs in this shape, but bring your arms to a T. Palms can be up or down. And then let your feet fall over to the left so that this right foot stamps right on the earth. I'm going to move back. Our legs fall over. We can gaze up at the ceiling or away from our legs. And slowly start to bring those feet back through center. Let's uncross and recross. This time, our left ankle is on top of our right thigh. Again, please stay if this is enough in your body. Please move a little bit forward if you want more stretch. And as you're ready, drop your arms to a T and let your legs fall over to the side so that your top foot stamps down on the earth. As you're ready, hug those knees back into your chest. If there's any movements that you wish I would have called for, please move your body into those shapes and join us when you're ready. If you're ready to rest, go ahead and hug your knees in towards your chest. Turn yourself into that tight little tiny yogi ball, bringing your forehead close to your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale to release into your Shavasana. Arms and legs can be long. Arms can be at your sides. Together, let's take one more inhale through the nose, our biggest, deepest breath yet. And exhale all of it away. If you feel safe, please know that you can close your eyes or keep a soft gaze. Try to relax the muscles right behind your eyes. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Relax your forearms and your fingertips. Relax your stomach, your glutes. Relax your toes. Keeping your eyes closed. Take a nice big deep breath in and out. Bring your awareness back to your room, back to your body. Maybe start by touching each one of your fingers to your thumb, wiggling your toes, turning your big toes so that they come to the inside of your body and then to the outside. Good morning stretch is always an option, reaching those hands up over your head, pointing those toes towards the front of the room. And then slowly but surely bend one knee and then the other. Roll onto your right side using your right arm as a pillow in the fetal position. For one more time, just reflect on that thought of what got loud when I got quiet. Yoga helps to teach us that we are not our every thought. There are stories that we tell ourselves that are not true. Some of them are. But first, we've got to get quiet enough to understand which ones are and which ones are not true. Slowly but surely, start to press yourself up into a seat. Find a comfortable seated position. Hands can be resting right on those kneecaps, or hands can come right to heart center. Thank you for taking time out of your day to care for yourself. It is always a privilege and an honor to share this space and this practice with you. In yoga, we believe that there is a place of goodness within each and every person. It's a place within you and within me that unites us. To that I bow. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Nice.